The Spurs crowd here live in San Antonio, Texas. Looking at the last game for the Los Angeles Clippers, it was a loss to the Trailblazers in Portland. And that one a tough loss, too. They ended down only 3 points.
Just looking at the stat sheet, they gave far too many free throws away in that game. Maybe it was the noise in the building or something, but they really looked rattled.
Well, Greg, I don't know if it was the biggest reason for that loss, but all of those misses from the stripe clearly had an impact on that game.
Here are the starters for Los Angeles. Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan, and it's Mbah a Moute in the 3 spot.
And really, the last few seasons, the Clippers have been one of the most consistently strong teams in the league. A far cry from when they were a bottom feeder back in the day. They have become one of the premier franchises in the NBA.
Back to Green. And that one is hammered home.
Fellas, that two-hand monster slam was vicious.
I don't think there was anyone, and I mean anyone, that could have stopped him on that one.
I tell you what, I'm glad they didn't try, because somebody might have got their feelings hurt.
On defense, San Antonio. It's a 3-point game. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
And no doubt that the fight was there, but no matter what they tried on that night, it just wasn't meant to be.
And over time, it looked like they were resigned to their fate. They kind of gave in. It's hard to come back when you get down like they were, and they just didn't seem to have enough fight to make a go of it.
Now here's Paul, following the miss by Griffin. And oh, here we go with Leonard, nobody back. And that one's good. Green's got his second bucket tonight.
Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy.
A flawless finish on the alley-oop.
And that steal paid instant dividends.
No wasted time or motion getting out on that fast break.
It took them a while, but finally they take the lid off.
You know, sometimes all it takes is one to get a team going. We'll see if that's the case here.
Parker drives in. Nice ball movement by San Antonio.
Boy, Doc Rivers, his teams to successful seasons. Former coach of the year, rarely has a season where his team doesn't meet expectations.
Jordan kicks to Redick. The 3. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Jordan. Redick's got himself on the board with 3 there.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Parker with it. Chris Paul covering. Aldridge drives in, and he jams it with authority.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
And Doc Rivers passed the 700-win mark as a coach last season. He's climbing the ladder in career wins.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know that Doc oftentimes gets enough credit for the type of coach he is. I mean, as a coach, he is well over 500 in terms of his career win percentage. And how about over 500 in playoff games as well?
Paul.
Forget about going for the long-range bomb to cut into that lead. Just take it to the hoop, my friend. Take it to the hoop.
And how, Clark. Brilliant throwdown.
Just exerting his authority on that play.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. So for the Clippers. And Mills kicks it to West. Now here's Mills. Not a lot of room. The kick out to Anderson. The dish to Diaw. No good from outside. Clippers trail by 5. Pass to Rivers. And Pierce, here we go. Inside. Lets it go from 11. Aldridge, no good. It's tipped. Feeds it to Martin. And Pierce over to help. It's Martin on the wing. West passes to Anderson. Shot clock at 5. And it's slammed in by Diaw.
Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
Los Angeles shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
And, Kevin, it's something they've been working very hard to correct and to change. I mean, they know how important it is to fix that inability at the free throw line.
And so the first quarter is in the books. Spurs lead by 8. Live from the AT&T Center in 2K Sports. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for San Antonio.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
And also, how about the fact defensively they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
Mills and Manu at the guards. Anderson is out there with Martin, and it's West in at the 5 spot. So that's who San Antonio starts the second with.
And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
Now here's Paul. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard.
No breathing room at all to take that shot.
Anderson a screen on Paul. It's Anderson with the drive. Here's Ginobili. The shot misses. Paul with the defensive effort. Down low. It's stolen by Martin. And Ginobili with a clear path to the rack. And that one's good. Ginobili's got the lead up to 8 now for the Spurs.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
That's got to be job number 1 right now. Nothing easy on the inside.
The Clippers have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. And Los Angeles with some changes. Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Green. And Bahamute comes in for Johnson. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Jamal Crawford. Parker dishes to Aldridge. Inside, he gets the jumper to fall. Aldridge has got 5.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And, Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
That is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down now to just 6, and the basket from Blake Griffin.
The offense has a better flow, and it actually looks better here in the second quarter.
It does. They're playing with a little bit more bounce in their step and trying to close this gap.
Aldridge's shot is good.
And guys, when you watch the Spurs play, it's like watching poetry in motion. I mean, every cut, every screen comes at a precise time, and they play beyond the sum of their talents because of that style.
Spurs do have a beautiful play style, and their offensive numbers show it, Greg. You're right there. one of the most fluid teams I can recall, Clark, in the NBA with their ball movement.
A joy to watch. I mean, they ended up top 5 in shooting percentage last year, as well as top 5 in assists.
Paul Pierce is checked in for the Clippers. Rivers comes in for Paul. Back to Aldridge. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It's on Mbamute.
That's his first personal.
2 shots, gentlemen.
And as we close into the start of the playoffs, let's see how the West is stacking up. You look at San Antonio. And, of course, the Los Angeles Clippers tied right now.
2 shots.
Yes, fans, Clark, and the one team they view as floppers is the Clippers. I don't like that word, but just kind of came out. Whether that is fair or not is up for debate, but it is certainly, I think, the perception.
And I think there's some truth to that perception. I mean, multiple players have received fines for flopping on their roster. I mean, you can't run away from that, and the fans remember it, too.
Oh, they do, yes, sir.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration and alertness, a turnover, and an easy bucket the other way in transition.
And really a few more of those, and this game could be over. And for the Clippers and flopping, part of it might just be reputation. Whenever anyone hits the deck on their team, fans might be quick to kind of condemn that as a flop.
You know, the Clippers were the darlings of the NBA as they improved and made strides, but I think the flopping has kind of diminished that now, that love affair. Being labeled a group of floppers can certainly stifle your popularity.
And Duncan throws it down.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
All right, baby, one more time. Keep it going for your Silver Dancers.
Clippers trail by 10. Kicks to Redick. And Pierce, here we go. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Shooting much better here in the second quarter.
Yes, very, very impressed with how much more alive they look here to get back in it.
Parker kicks to Aldridge. Parker passes to Aldridge. Shot clock at 6. Parker dishes to Green. Aldridge. Offline with his 3. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down now to just 6 in the basket from J.J. Redick.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Now here's Leonard. 5 points in the game. Here's Aldridge. Here's Duncan. And it's Griffin with the rebound.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him. I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Down low. West with the steal. Ahead. Here's Ginobili. And the relief. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. It's San Antonio up by 6. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half. And we welcome you back to start the quarter. Players had a chance to get hydrated with Gatorade. And there's certain to be some great basketball ahead for us. Nice game. Great performance by LaMarcus Aldridge.
Always been a dynamic scorer, and we saw in that first half the entire repertoire on display.
Yeah, he's a hard man to keep down, and so far they haven't found the answer for him. I don't know if there is an answer for him, quite honestly.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out away here in the third. Nice game. Great performance by LaMarcus Aldridge.
And in terms of points in that first half, you know, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
And, Greg, that tells you all you need to know about what a talent he is. I mean, I'll bet he adds a lot more to his totals after the break.
Getting underway in the second half. Here's the 5 for Doc Rivers. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan. Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. And it's Mbamute in at the 3.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
Clippers trail by 9. Goes. Oh!
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
I tell you what, I used to love to go up and jam like that.
And then Griffin with the dunk.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush.
Parker kicks to Duncan. Back to Parker. The pass to Aldridge. Here's Duncan. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty from that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed. You know, another point of contention between every NBA fan is whether or not the age restriction is a good thing. Some want it increased, others want it gone altogether. You know, for me, it's a matter of whether or not you as a team feel that that player can make an impact on your roster.
Anderson, he's checked in for Tim Duncan. And the foul called on Blake Griffin. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Yeah, man, it's close, but, you know, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
That's a 2 from Paul. They get it back. That drops and it comes off an assist from Jordan. Paul's got 5 points so far.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
And Mbamute, the pass to Redick. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. And there are arguments, Clark, on both sides for the NBA and the age restriction it has currently right now. Having one seems to have helped the level of play overall, but I think there's some improvements that can be made.
Yeah, with the D-League coming into its own, though, Kevin, the discussion has opened up again. NBA teams used to not have a place for high school players. The D-League could serve in that regard now, but having a restriction is something that I think has helped the NBA. I actually would like to see it be 20 years old.
Me too. Shot clock at 5. And that one's good. Parker.
You know, that part of the floor, guys, is more or less his real sweet spot, right in his wheelhouse.
Griffin dishes to Jordan.
Boy, he is such a ridiculous dunker.
High riser, no doubt about it.
Goodness, I mean, you come to expect plays like that from him, and folks, that never gets old.
And the dunk by Aldridge.
Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
Cutting into the lead with a huge one-hand throwdown.
That's how to get your team back into it.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, guys, that might also put a little spark into those guys.
Great D that time from Jordan. Clippers trail by 5. Passes to Pierce. Stolen by Anderson. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession. Well, when you think of the great playmakers in league history, John Stockton per game averaged double-digit dimes. Think of this. For his career, 15,806 career assists, a record you knew right off would stand for a very long time.
And guys, you know, you look up point guard in the dictionary, and there's a nice little picture of John Stockton there. I mean, he is an unreal distributor. Controlled the game like no one ever has before or since. It's no coincidence that Utah never missed the playoffs in any of the 19 seasons that John Stockton was at the helm.
Outside Ginobili, and the shot is good. And now it's a 10-point Spurs lead. Rivers kicks to Green, battles through traffic and lays it in.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Back to West. Three-pointer, Martin. The shot's good on the assist by West. Martin's got the lead up to 11 now for San Antonio. Jeff Green on the wing. An amazing shot, just barely. Shots continuing to fall as we conclude the third quarter. Both teams putting up points. Spurs lead by 9. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Down low, it's the veterans Diaw and Duncan, Mills and Manu at the guards. And it's Martin in at the small forward. That's the San Antonio 5. It's Ginobili with the drive. Martin the pass to Mills. No good on the triple. Paul for 3. The shot is off. Nice D from Ginobili. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And some changes here for the Spurs. Aldridge comes in for Boris Diaw. And it's Green in for Manu Ginobili. Blake Griffin, he's checked in for the Clippers. Redick comes in for Jamal Crawford. Duncan dishes to Green. And stolen by Redick. Got a piece of it. Paul with the ball. Now Green defending. Here's Jordan. And the rebound goes to Duncan.
You rarely see him missing dunks, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough.
They kick it out to Green. Back to Aldridge. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Green kicks to Duncan. Here's Mills. Pass to Aldridge. Outside for Martin. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist. 6 points for Martin.
Timeout for the Clippers.
Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
Greg, no question about it. They found a nice rhythm from deep.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Doc Rivers address his team. He got after them and told them to turn up the intensity, saying we've put ourselves in the corner, and now we've got to fight our way out. Show me what you have. Let's see if we've got what it takes, guys.
And thank you, Doris. Duncan, the pass to Leonard. He dishes it to Aldridge. From downtown. Offensive rebound, Spurs. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Green. Back to Aldridge. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it.
Now that could be a major moment in this game. Mark your clock right now. Just when we thought this contest might be over, a steal, a fast break, and it's hold everything time.
Still in the driver's seat right now. I'm not sure the comeback is fully on just yet. One more transition bucket, though, and it could be.
And it's the Clippers with the ball. Clippers trail by 7. The feed to Redick. And the Spurs pushing it up now. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter.
2 minutes.
Mills dishes to Aldridge. Can't get it to go. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. The shot by Redick, no good. And Mills kicks to Leonard. To the inside. Outside Aldridge. Aldridge with a screen on Redick. Off the screen. Goes back up. And Duncan lays it in. And the Spurs lead by 9.
Played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
Took him no time at all on that one. 11 points for Chris Paul.
He is pouring it on in the second half, guys. I mean, a much better showing than he had before the break.
Tony Parker's checked in for San Antonio.
Go, Spurs, go. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3.
Here's Paul. This one for 3. And again, Los Angeles with the triple. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Clippers.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And also, their second chance points have been a story all night as well. So that's just pure effort and hustle. And now both teams really in a groove.
This game already, guys, was high scoring, but they've really amped and ramped it up to another level down the stretch.
And all of a sudden, the shots now falling in bunches. The complexion of this game has completely changed.
Yeah, and that was the only thing that could have brought them back in this game. Everything had to start dropping. And boy, have they gotten on a roll.
There's 39 seconds left in the fourth. Aldridge. It's good.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
Los Angeles calls timeout. They're behind by 7. 20 seconds left to play here in the fourth. What's your take, guys?
You know, you like the fight all the way to the end, but let's face it, guys, this one's over.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I really think you shouldn't be allowed to call timeouts late in the ball game if there's no chance for it to do any good on the scoreboard. Yeah, with the game out of reach, intentional fouls don't mean anything. It's just an exercise in futility. Let the clock go.
Yeah, I agree with you, Clark. Just doesn't really make a lot of sense at this point.
Los Angeles calls timeout. They trail by 8. 11 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. 11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And again, it's the Clippers missing. And they go to the intentional foul. First free throw is good, and that will put them up by 9. Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one.
Boy, his hands weren't the steadiest at the line that time, but that was